Hello everyone and welcome back. In game one between Degenerates Reformed and No Fear Wolves, we got to see No Fear Wolves have a very convincing early game, finding a lot of early leads for themselves, and now they are 1-0 up in this best of 5 tonight, and now loser takes control of which side they want in the next game. And Degenerates Reformed did pick blue side once again, and now we're very well into this draft, and Diana being that B1 for Degenerates.
I really love to see that coming in this time. I want to see this jungler do more. Sovereign's a great player, and I think putting him on the Trundle wasn't the best thing to do because he was walking around the map and just getting out-rotated. He walked into mid lane, got ganked by 2 people, and he's trying to gank mid. Hopefully, get a lot more done on this Diana, and I love to see that Azir ban coming in as well for them.
No more Azir for Cute Raichu. He got to have his pop-off in game one. Will he get to have it in any other game tonight? We may not know, as now we get that Volibear and potentially that Aphelios lock-in once again for Epic Fail Guy. Very safe ADC and that nice top jungle flex for that Volibear as well.
Yeah, and I really want to see, since Degenerates banned out 3 of their champions, they left the Aphelios out, they said, okay, Aphelios wasn't the problem. We trust Mob to dominate this lane. And now that he has a new support coming in, Reformed DVD. I don't know much about him, but I hope they're going to go for a more aggressive look and have something prepared for this Aphelios.
Yeah, Bixus is not going to be playing once again, as we do now have, I do believe it is another sub. It is Reformed DVD, like you mentioned. We don't really know too much about this player, but him being subbed in hopefully does have a little bit more of a better performance than Bixus did in game one, where he just kept getting caught out before those important dragon and dragon fights, and now hopefully could be a little bit better, as they will have all 5 members for these fights.
I love this. They slam the Samira into Epic Fail Guy. They say, you want to play Aphelios? You want to scale? Check it out. We have a Samira. We're going to run it down bot lane all game. You're going to be... Someone's going to be 0-3 in this lane by 10 minutes. I don't know which one, but it's going to be one of them.
Could be one of them. And this is one of those picks that I was talking about in the pre-show, where Galio is making a comeback in the mid lane and a little bit in the support as well. Galio's Samira, like you're saying, very strong bot lane if they are sticking him down there in the bot lane, but also in the mid lane, having that roam potential, having that wombo combo available with the Diana, where the Diana goes in Moonfall, then you got Galio with his own almost Moonfall as well. It's just a lot of damage and a lot of CC, and now you've got a Nautilus playing into Galio or playing into another champion.
You know, it could go either way. Galio's kind of seen a little bit less play in bot lane since they put a nerf on his W. The main thing that he struggles with other engaged supports is finding a guaranteed engage. He can get in there, but it doesn't always hit. But against something like an Aphelios, you have a bit better luck, so Aphelios isn't as mobile. And I'm a simple man. I love all the circles coming out of Degenerates so far. They have Diana, they have Samira, they have Galio. Throw all the circles on Aphelios, he can't go anywhere. And now there's an Ornn on top of it. He's going to get charged by a Ram after all becomes down. I really want to see how he's going to survive these team fights.
He's going to have a hard time in these team fights, but he is going to have to do that long-range damage that his team does need. So far, rest of his team, currently 3 melees for No Fear Wolves, hopefully is picking another one of those AP long-range champions on R5 here, and we're going to have a Corki here in the mid lane for Golbox for Degenerates Reformed.
It's another good pick here to round out the rest of their damage. They were a bit lacking consistent damage. They had this huge upfront burst. They have the first punch in the combo drafted so far, and this Corki should round it out really well, and it'll give them a lot better ways to play around their objectives with that Corki package. When we played against them, I remember they locked it in, and it was hell trying to walk into these objectives when there's a Corki package. And then we have a set coming in as well to finish out the draft for top lane here, I'm assuming. I'm putting the Volibear in the jungle.
Yeah, they did preserve that Volibear flex potential until the very end, which is what you like to see. And then they are going to be throwing it towards that jungle with that set lock-ins. That is a very tanky top side, maybe not as much damage, but then you do have that Silas and that Aphelios, where if either one of them pop off, then they are going to pop off very hard, like we did see in game one. And with that Samira, and it is confirmed now Galio in that bot lane, that is a very, we want kills, and we want kills early.
I'm very excited to see how that bot lane turns out. Seeing the Nautilus and the Galio matchup coming out, it's definitely going to be another lane of one of these people's going 0-3. And when I played against Mob, he put out a ton of pressure, and I think he's going to be able to take it this time. It'll just depend on how well his support plays, probably.
Yeah, Galio does need to find those engages for Samara. Usually she can't really go in on her own. She does need that CC so that she can easily follow up with her own, and Galio does have a lot of CC for himself. Maybe it's not as easy to land as Nautilus hooks, but Aphelios not going to have nearly as much follow-up potential as that Samara. But then for this mid-jungle, we've got Corki and Diana with Volibear Stylus. That is going to be, I'm expecting a lot of fighting as well around this mid lane.
If I were playing mid for the Corki right now, I'd be terrified. Whenever I play mid, I just ban Silas. I don't want to deal with it. I play Annie, he takes my bear, that's not cool. And look at all these ultimates he has to take. He has a Galio ult. He can grab the Diana ult. He can grab an Ornn ult. He has so many good team fighting ults to grab from him right here. And I think it was a really good read, knowing that Degenerates was trying to play this style of, we want to 5v5 you. And Raichu just says, alright, cool, I'll do it better.
Yeah, now Degenerates reformed. They've got this team fighting comp, like you're saying. You've got the Diana, you've got the Corki, you've got the Samara, and you got 2 tanks to protect them. Yes, your damage is mostly short range, but if you are having these super scrappy team fights, which we did get to see a lot of, maybe not scrappy team fights, but a lot of early picks in Game 1, if that is going to continue, then Degenerates reformed comp is definitely favored, whereas No Fear, they're going more towards that classic team fight where you want that front line from your set Volibear, and then you want that Aphelios to just play front to back, where he's got that safety from so many tanks in front of him, and then you've got that engage as well with the Nautilus hook, with the Volibear ult, even a little bit from Silas as well.
Looking at these team fights, I'm really curious to see if we're going to see anyone build, on the Degenerate side, Anathema's Chains. Because you have your one main damage coming out of Aphelios. Silas is damage too, but he's not really going to be hitting a Galio. He's not going to be hitting an Ornn. Both of them would be great options to actually pick this item, and I'm excited to see if they'll try it.
Yeah, that's the item where you put it on someone, you get a vendetta over 60 seconds, and then all of a sudden you don't take any damage from them, and they don't take any CC either. So if you're throwing that on this Corki or this Diana or even a Samara, where Samara, you hard CC her in her ult, and then she can't really press the R key again in the rest of the team fight, is definitely very helpful if any one of these really 3.5 tanks for No Fear Wolves are going to be picking it up, and that is usually more favored towards either the top or the support, just because it is that cheaper item and you can pick it up usually 2 or 3.
I know we've seen it, I don't remember what professional league it was, but we've seen some supports grabbing it already. Because the thing that supports struggle with is being a real tank. You only see like Alistar, because he just cheats. He says, I don't take damage 60% anymore. Anathema's Chain is about half that, it's 30 once you build it up, and you get that CC duration extended on top of it. So I'd be really excited to see it coming out of any of these supports, really.
Yeah, it is, I do believe, only 2,500 gold, which is the same as any support mythic, that being like the Moonstone, the the Locket even, all of them being 2,500, and then your Locket in the Chains as well also being 2,500, more leading towards that support, but still, Set and Volibear, they're the ones that are going to be tanking the most damage, so they are probably going to be looking to reduce that damage that they need to tank, and now we are looking to go into this game very soon. Metapod, who do you think is going to be taking this game at 2?
I'm excited to see Degenerates try to make the comeback here. They gave themselves a lot more options this time, and I hope they can do it. Cute Raichu Silas is terrifying, so we'll see if they have a huge mountain to climb, but I want to see him do it. I think I want to go with Degenerates for this one. I really like their draft.
I really like their draft as well. They have that really strong engage. They aren't lacking in any lane damage this time. You've got that early game potential with the Corki, with the Samara, and the Diana as well. Yes, she does have to farm for 6, but once she hits 6, Volibear has to do the same, and they're level 6s. Diana's going to win that 2v2. So Degenerates Reform does look like a much stronger team comp in this second game, and with that, we will be going to a short break here as I will be going on to the Rift, joined by Gungeon once again, so don't click out anywhere, as Game 2 will be coming to you very shortly. Hello everyone, and welcome back. We are finally here with your Game at 2 tonight between No Fear Wolves and Degenerates Reformed. We have Degenerates on the blue side this game, and sorry for the very extended pause, as Colebox's entire Wi-Fi went out across his entire block, and unfortunately, due to the rules of it being a 10-minute pause, he is not allowed, he is allowed to come back if he is able to rejoin, but at this point, they do have to play a 4v5. There is no remake available. So 4v5 in the quarterfinals, gonna be very rough for Degenerates Reformed.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how they end up kind of playing it out. It is going to obviously be an incredibly big hurdle. The hope is that they can just use this game number 2 to at least give Coldbox the time to try and reconnect and hopefully try to go for that miracle that 3-0 reverse sweep, no fear wolves. But again, an unfortunate situation, but the rules are the rules, and that is how we're going to be playing it out. It looks like we're going to actually send Reformed DVD into the mid lane. He is playing Galio, so it's not going to be too big of a hurdle, but the big problem is obviously going to be Mob 5 in that solo lane bot.
Yeah, it is lucky that they did pick that Galio, and unfortunately Galio did take Ignite expecting he was playing the support position, but now Ignite in the mid lane. Luckily he didn't buy Spell Thieves or Relic Shield beforehand, so he does still have the regular Doran's Ring for himself there in mid lane, and having a flex carry potential there in the flex role of Galio is going to be very helpful, as you are able to just throw a mid lane and then have Samira's solo lane bot. Yes, she won't get to really play the game, but you will still have a mid lane, and Raichu will still have a little bit of trouble here, as there is quite a bit of trading going on there early levels.
And you can already see she's just being completely zoned out of the minion wave. She's not being zoned out of the XP range, but it's just going to be such a tough task. Reform DVD, again, is a jungle player being subbed into the support position, now being subbed into the mid lane position, so kind of a one of those situations where you're just being thrown all over the place, but hopefully he's going to be able to make it work in that mid side. It is going to be kind of difficult, as Cute Raichu is piloting probably his most prominent champion besides that Azir pick that we've seen in mid league. Oh, top side. Oh my god, solo kill.
There's the flash coming in from Cornstar. Flash from Innovative Picks does not matter. Solo kill, like you said up there for Cornstar.
I think Cornstar heard me say he was a weak solo laner, as
It's now Raichu, you're gonna flash away, but that's the Ignite taking down Reform DVD, picking up himself a solo kill.
Who said junglers can't play lanes? As he comes into the mid lane, just smashes Cute Raichu. He just wasn't expecting all of that damage from Reform DVD. Gets the gank and bot lane as well.
Bot lane now, Sovereign coming in here. It's a 4v5, but it doesn't even matter, as they're trying to find this pick down on the Epic Fail Guy. TP coming in from Cornstar, but is it too late, as Mob 5 trying to run away, and that's going to be a kill going down to Cornstar already. As Sovereign, he wants to walk away. Hook is going to miss. Flash comes out from Sovereign, and he is able to walk away with just the 1-for-1.
And we are seeing just all around the map fight after fight after fight after fight, but the main person this is actually benefiting is Skiz, as he's able to fully clear out his jungle, double scuttle as well. Sovereign, sorry, Array's on my mind. Sovereign did have to hold down the bot side, so again, having all of this volatility is just assisting this Volibear, able to run around the map, pretty much say, okay, it's going to be a 4v5, well, I'm going to make sure that it's my side that's going to be the 4v5. He's just pretty much playing a PvE game right now. Skiz just farming up, getting ahead in the early game.
I mean, Degenerates Reformed comp, they are drafted for the early game. Corki was their late game, maybe insurance policy, just in case they didn't make it through the early game very well. Now they're missing that insurance, so they just got to put all hands on deck for this early game. And so far, they've definitely been doing that. As yes, they are down a member, but there was that 2v2, and then it turned into a 3v2 for them bot lane, and still being able to make that a 1-for-1 for themselves, definitely very worth for Degenerates Reformed.
I think the big problem, though, comes from the fact that there's just no way Mob 5 playing the Samira pick, expected to be playing in the Samira Galio bot lane, expecting to add that volatility bot side and kind of attack Epic Fail God before he gets to those mid-game stage where he becomes that kind of lead all-pro consistent ADC, but now just zoned out from the minion wave, not able to play anything, and we're going to see these Dragon Soul timers again come into play, as bot side, they're just going to start the Dragon Soul timer already. Cloud Soul should be going to side of No Fear Wolves.
Yeah, very early Cloud Dragon. This is probably going to be that worst early Dragon, but it is still a nice Dragon for No Fear. Being able to pick this one up so early, making that potential 20-minute soul timer, if they are able to continue picking these Dragons up so early on, just straight off of the respawn time, could mean that the early game for Degenerates Reformed will not be extended for very long.
Yeah, the early game is not going to be extended for very long. It is going to be a Cloud and then a Mountain Soul. So we will see a impactful either Infernal Souls map or a Ocean Soul map. So it's going to be one of those situations where around that 22-minute mark, it is going to be do or die for the side of Degenerates Reform. Again, we hope that Colebox reconnects. We hope that Colebox is his power comes back for game number 3, but it is just what the rules are, and so we're gonna play on, and we're just gonna have to see. Again, if you wanted a miracle story, if you wanted that story about perseverance, well, this is it. As
this is the Innovative Picks. He's looking for that solo kill, but he gets his ult canceling. Cornstar finds it with his own damage there, not even having to burn his own flash, just the kill for himself.
And if for the old age League players, that is one of those not even close baby, as Cornstar looked like he was sitting at about 17 health as he gets the set ulti right into the Haymaker, I believe is his W, and just absolutely one-shots Innovative Picks. Great solo kill from the side of Cornstar.
Yeah, you did think it was going to be going over to Innovative Picks, and that would have been a very even top lane if that did happen. But now Cornstar sitting 3-0 on this. That is going to be very, very powerful in these mid to late game team fights, where you just got to find one member, you got to ultimate on the rest of the team, and when that member is most likely going to be this Galio, is going to be very strong for Cornstar if he is able to continue finding these leads in the top lane. And now Epic Fail Guy walking a little bit too close to this wave, as he's going to be taken down by that Moonfall. Mop 5 able to pick himself up a kill, but then Kane landed a nice hook underneath that tower, able to find a 1-for-1 for himself.
They end up trading 1-for-1. The big part of that play, though, is that Sovereign had to waste so much time just sitting in that bot side bush trying to get something done. Doing that entire time, Skiz is just farming the entire top side jungle of Sovereign. You already see Volibear with a 20 CS lead in the jungle. Again, they're making it work. They're making these 1-for-1 trades, but the big problem with this 4v5 is that Sovereign is just being spread too thin, and his jungle is just being absolutely reaped by the side of Skiz.
Yeah, this jungle is just so hard for Skiz. He's only got the one Cinder. He's up a little bit of CS, but he's got no tempo on this map, and he is level 7 on this Volibear. He needs to be looking for these ganks, as yes, Cornstar is very ahead. Raichu, though, being solo killed in the mid lane on one of these signature picks and being solo killed by a potentially auto-filled sub as well. Not really what we were looking for from Raichu, as we've got another pause.
And as we work out a ruling for the situation in game number 2 with the 4v5 with Colebox being disconnected, we are going to go to a pause. We are going to go to a little bit of a transition as we wait to see what the ruling on the floor is.